stroke retention register?
No, a deposit register should actually show you the receipts and the payments out of the account and the remaining balance at the end of the period. Thank you, Chair. And it doesn't meet that criteria.
So, Governor, the Auditor General is saying that this is about 100 pages of hot air.
No, it's not true. Maybe if he didn't have the documents, now he can verify, can ask for time to verify. But I'll give Makio and the CEO Finance to answer that.
Yeah, I mean, a register, it's either there or not. So it's not something that we should even debate.
And the
Can you answer?
6 that I asked about, I saw it had something to do with retention. Annex 6, if I can refer, where I pointed they were blanks. If you look at the Annex 6 of your document, there is the schedule of retention. Does it explain the same?
The two rows that you had cited earlier.
The whole of it also, because when you go
Okay.
through Annex 6, the total governor of, you have indicated all these as retention, it comes to, I think it was 200, just with your indulgence, Chair, it was coming to 286 million. Is this the same register in Annex 6? Governor?
Yeah, what is attached there, it reads in turn, retention, Kilifi County Retention Account Register. So I'll give one of the finance officers to explain that.
Governor, is it the same with Annex 6? Is it the same register?
No, it's not.
Oh, these are
It's on
different.
page 1.
Because these are list of payments paid out of deposit account.
On page 298, yes. You see that register there. So can you explain?
98.
Yeah, the auditor says that is not what he wanted.
Yes. Chair, if I can explain, if you go to appendix number 12, appendix number 12, that is a retention register, where the first column, we have payments retained. We have payments paid out of retention. The second column, we have payments retained, and we have the balance. That is the cumulative balance in the retention register, in the retention account, in the last column.
Auditor General, first of all, the print is very tiny, so we're struggling to make sense. But I'm seeing on page 382, there is a balance there, a total balance of 120. Can you read it out, officer? This is your document. What's the total on page 382?
Chairman, the amount is 125,388,855.33. That's the cumulative.
Okay, so auditor, is this what you wanted, or there was further information that was required?
Thank you, Chair. I guess when we say about a register would be an independent document that actually shows, one, the receipts received and the receipts out of the account, and two, when you receive the receipts, there has to be a serial number that follows a sequence that shows you the completeness of the information. On the payment side, you should also see a serial number that is paying out, so that when you look at the serial numbers, then you can see the completeness. Basically, what we've given here, as much as they're saying it's a register, but when it comes to now the assertion of completeness, it's very difficult to tell whether it's actually complete. And two.
Okay, yeah, just before you lose us, I think, Governor, the key query here is that the prior year, you had a balance of 184 million. There was a movement of 59 million, which could have been payments, isn't it?
Yes.
And so you ended up with a balance of 125 million. Your register should have also included those payments. Is that what you're saying, Auditor General?
Pardon?
The register should have included the payments to confirm the movement from 184 to 125?
Yes, Chair. Because we need to have an opening balance, then you
Yes.
see the receipts, then you less the payments, then you get the balance.
So how do we move from 184 to 125?
Right.
Because that was also part of the query. 59.38 million. You have given us a schedule for 125, but the Auditor General says you started at 184, and he has no idea how you closed at 125.
Maybe, Chair, also because the person who was dealing with this in AOG is disposed, maybe we need to get the person relieving to acquaint himself with the information you have. Then whatever you think needs to be forwarded, and especially on your Kilifi trip, the queries we have, if we get a list of all the issues which we need to provide paperwork, we could do that, Chair. Because now,
Governor, the Office of the Auditor General is not a person.
yes, I know.
It is an institution.
I know, Chair.
So the absence of one person cannot invalidate our proceedings.
But, Chair, if you see the register, I know that, Chair, but you know the information we have here, depending on when he took over to deal with this matter, would probably have not gone through with all the document here. But alas,
No, Governor, I mean, these members are, have got the appropriate ability. All you need to demonstrate to us here is your movement from 184 million to 125 million.
So I'll give one of the officers to.
Yeah.
Can you go through it? Because they're so small, I can't read it.
Chair,
The governor is also struggling to read
Chair,
it, so I wonder how we are going to.
As an industrious member of this committee, the majority is constructions of toilets. So maybe you will tell us why do classrooms? I thought it comes with attached with toilets, because majority have been skimming through. And I told you, Governor, you are lucky some of us read these things in the interest of Kenyans.
You mean what?
We read. In fact, your people decided to bring us a small print, thinking that we'll not see.
No,
But
Chair,
some of us have even spiritualized that we can see.
I have the same problem always, Chair. I always tell them to
And
make
you are
it bold.
lucky that Senator Sifuna is not here with us. It would have been more fire.
Again, the Senate is not an individual, it's an institution.
And
so.
Chair, I think on the issue asking about toilets,
Yeah, it's the majority in your
Chair, there's a possibility. What I can tell you, Chair, and it happens also when you are members of parliament and the CDF, that you get a member of parliament, and this is what has happened in the county. You find an ECD was built, no toilets. This was built, no toilets. Now you go back, you ask for toilets, you ask for furnitures. So we have a lot we are doing on that scope, because things were built, but even furnitures were not put in place. So you go to a meeting, the public asks you for two things. Choo ya watoto wa ECD wanatumia choo ya watoto wa.
So do you do
primary.
the standard of ECD kits, the toilets?
Sorry?
Do you do the toilets to the same standards of ECD children?
Yes. Okay. Now we do.
Okay.
Now we do, and when you come, you can see some of the new.
Okay, let's come back to the numbers.
This thing we are answering, Chair. It's from 2020, so probably we need to dig more detail. That's what I'm saying.
From 2020.
From 2020.
Again, your officers failed to age.
Yeah, exactly. That's why.
So we can't tell whether these were 1 year or 6 years, as you're saying, from 2020. I think the same comment we made on note 31. Your officers failed to provide proper disclosure on note 32. So now we are fairly blind when processing this issue.
Chair, can I also request that these documents is not illegible? I don't know whether you have seen it, number 12. The governor can strike it out and get us a better document that is more readable. Because somebody, I can see the vice chair today is carrying glasses. He is struggling, and he has a set of eyes.
So I think we have it also in the. We have it also in soft copy, so you can be able to.
No, but it's not the complete information
Yes,
that
yes.
the Auditor General requires. Because the Auditor General requires a schedule that demonstrates the movement from 184 to 125.
We will get, Chair. I think you will indulge us that most of these things you have realized I'm answering relate to before 2022.
Unfortunately, we don't have that evidence here.
Yeah,
If you did your aging, then that would be a valid observation.
that's why I said we will. If you see this one here, the statement is for 2020. So if you allow us to provide that one, then we can put the aging, which now they stand guided, the officers.
Chair, I thought the governor had said you had a proper handing over from the previous administration to you. I thought you are the former governor, you are in cordial relationship. What does it look like? It doesn't look like there is no seamless transition of those, maybe documentation and even works. And now you have by the way, Chair, it's 4 years.
Let's not go there because there's no evidence.
Chair, I'm not going
There's
anywhere.
no factual evidence that these are historical.
Chair, one.
If there was outstanding retentions over 3 years, then we'll reach that conclusion.
But
They
Chair,
have not made that disclosure.
But Chair, you have to appreciate that in almost all matters, the governor has been consistent. Either a document is lacking, we need more time, we need to provide. That has developed my intent, and that is why I'm saying, Governor, you have been in office for the last 4 years. I think if there was something missing, you should have known by now. If it was year one in office, I would be with you. But on this one, I think you are just being unfair.
No, it's not, Chair, and I have no bad blood with my predecessor. Yes. All what I'm saying is the guidance of the Chair of aging these issues is what we did not take into consideration when we came. And now we are going to put it on the aging way, and you'll be able to establish.
But your technical staff through the Chair, these are things that you agree with OAG Chair. An audit is not an offense, it is a process. And we might exclude you because of other, but you are the gentleman who is in charge of finance and other technical people should have known that what we need is what already be read in management letter. It should have been easier for you, Governor.
Order, Governor. I think we are making suggestions to improve this exercise in future. So let's just take note of the comments so that it's not a back and forth. Senator Maruma?
Yeah, Chair. If there's a template of making the register, because then the auditor is saying this does not pass for a register, then it should be made possible for you to see and make that register. Number two, an amount of 99 million was borrowed from that deposit account. 89,500,000 has been refunded. We are still to refund 10 million. Where is the 10 million? And how sure are we that the contractors who are supposed to be given their money after completing the 6 months mandatory time are paid their money? Because there's 10 million still not refunded out of the 99 million borrowed.
Maybe as you answer that, what does the PFM Act and regulation require you to do when you're borrowing from deposits and retentions? There is a procedure that is prescribed. Was that procedure complied with?
Chair, one to answer on the register first. The register, maybe the AOG needs to guide us on what type of register they use, because as we have what we could provide, but if they have a specific one, the template, then they can give us, then we can adjust our register. The second one, I give it to the CC to see what procedure they use to withdraw the money.
CC?
And why is there missing 10 million? One of your officers can answer.
Let's start from what the law requires and whether you complied. CC? Governor, you came with people who I thought introduced themselves as very senior.
Yeah, next time I think I'll leave them out of the room, because I'm wondering, they keep on looking at each other like.
Okay, through the chair, I'm sorry, because as well, I took over this department quite recently, but still all the same, since I'm in charge there, I followed up on this. Yes, we required to actually have approvals, which then when I checked through, those approvals were not there. But then at least the effort that we've made so far is that recovery, and I've also proceeded to make sure.
So you breached the law.
As a county, admittedly, yes.
But I thought the gentleman sitting behind you was then the CC, Finance.
Acting at that time, I think.
So this was a borrowing of which year? Because looks like someone was looking for 100 million.
No.
Haraka, nitumia 100 million haraka. Then you went to the deposits account, took 99 million without any approval, without any report to the assembly. This is criminal. Which year was the borrowing done?
2023. 2024 through the chair. 23, yes. Through the chair, this was 99. Unajua ni ile wakati wa international conference.
If the procedure was followed.
Please go on record. Just make sure you're on record.
Yes, thank you, through the chair. And like I said, admittedly, yes, we confirm. When I took over, I found this had been borrowed unprocedurally, so to say. Because the procedure required that we got approvals, including from the county assembly, which was actually not done.
What instrument did you rely on to reach the conclusion that this was a borrowing from the deposits account? It was a borrowing, not settlement of retention. Was there a letter?
No, Chair.
There was no letter.
I didn't find any letter.
How was the transaction initiated? Because for 99 million to move from one account to the other, there has to be some paper trail. Someone must have signed somewhere, even if it was not taken to the assembly, etc. So what makes you report to the Senate that this was a borrowing?
And if that need was there, some meeting must have discussed that to sanction that
I think, Chair, this.
And what was that money going to be used for?
I don't know, Chair, how they borrowed and whatever, but the CC who was there now is the CC Trade. So I'm sure the CC here can check with his colleague and provide all the documents which are required for what happened.
Yeah, because we want to identify the person
the officer is not
who
out
broke
of
the law.
office. It's just in another department. So I'm sure you can be able to pursue and get all the relevant documents required.
Auditor, perhaps you might need to pull up that relevant section of the law, because we dealt with this last week. I think last week we had a county. I remember the Reverend was here and was very alarmed at the practice in that county. I'm trying to remember which county it was. I don't know whether it was Mombasa or Samburu. I think it was Samburu. It was Samburu County. And you see, we said you can borrow, but there's a procedure. And that procedure includes the county assembly. You cannot move 99 million from one voted to the other without that authority. And in this case, we have no visibility on the need for that money. At least when Vihiga came, they told us the money went for a bash, for a housewarming party, for the speaker. When Embu came, Embu told us the money went to a border empowerment. ENW 99 million, which was done unlawfully, what was it used for?
I think that they need to have that documentation for that showing that
they will
need,
get the tabulation,
because at times, Chair, that money could have gone to paying pending bills, and at times their pending bills are fictitious. That's why we really need to follow through.
I don't think we went to pay pending bills, Chair, but I think the CC who was there previously need to explain the transactions, how they went and they were paid what. We never borrowed to pay pending bills, as far as I'm concerned.
I think, Governor, this should concern you. It should alarm you.
Yes.
I don't know how much money there is in Kilifi, but if 99 million was borrowed from an account without due process, without clarity on what it was going to be used for, and then it remains unsettled until February 2026, and even when it was refunded, it was 10 million less. This should worry you a lot.
I know, Chair, at one time they borrowed money during the investment conference from the retention account, but that's why I say I need to get a breakdown of what was borrowed for the investment conference, which we had in 2023.
Auditor, did you get the relevant section of the law?
Not yet, Chairman, but we'll...
Yeah, but I think the CEC seems to be aware that there is certain obligations, certain steps that you must go through for you to be able to move that money from one account to the other. Because in the absence of that evidence, this is one of the things we define as theft. Because what is theft? Depriving somebody of a benefit. You are depriving your contractors of something that is due to them. That is a classical definition of theft.
And Chair, for our comfort, then we need to know if the suppliers have been paid after the defect liability period is over. Are you paying them seamlessly, or there's a problem? On record, really. On record. You'd answer that on record.
The chief apparently has that information. Can you please tell the House how much was now and how much was the 22? He says this can explain 75 and 22 he inherited. So can you just answer? Yes.
By the time His Excellency the Governor was taking over office, there was already an outstanding of 22 million borrowed from the retention account. And then the 75 was borrowed during his tenure, which now 89 has been refunded, and a payment voucher is already is ready for the balance.
What is asking?
Was the 75
was it
million
borrowed
done
for what? That's what
in
you need to
accordance
say.
with the law, and what was the purpose?
Yeah.
No, the 75, as the Governor says, was for investment conference.
What does the law require you to do to validate that borrowing?
It ought to have gone through the assembly, as the CC has
Did it go through the assembly?
As the CC has said, that route was not taken.
Since you have this background, are you the offender?
No. When I took over, I joined finance. This had already been done, but I have that information after digging through.
Let's not belabor the point. Governor, you understand the law has been breached. We don't have any evidence that this money was used for the purposes that are being alluded to. And if we cannot get that visibility, we will be asking EACC. This is an open and shut matter that EACC should be able to pursue. Because as I said, you are depriving contractors of their benefits through these reallocations. And that is theft.
I think, Chair, the money which was borrowed for investment conference, I was informed, the procedures, whether they were followed, is when they did not inform me. Now that I know they had to go to assembly and whatever, they need to provide all the evidence to this committee on the transfers and how the money was spent. It's there. The money was not lost.
How much was
the
used for
22 we
investment
cannot
conference?
account for. Sorry?
How much was expended for the investment conference? Maybe we might need
75 million.
Or the whole amount.
But which was already pending, which we inherited. So we need to get the information of that one, the one of the investment conference. The CC, as I said, who managed the invest conference, is now in trade. And actually, he borrowed when he was already in trade. So whoever worked with him from Treasury to get that money should be able to give evidence of all the money, how it was spent.
Governor, there must be checks and balances in public finance management.
Yeah.
You can't have a CC with unilateral powers just to move money from one account to the other without going back to the assembly, which has the responsibility of approving budgets. I think this is a very material amount. We have dealt with small amounts in other counties, but for Kilifi, it is a matter that raises serious concerns. We'll revisit this matter when we come to Kilifi, and I hope by that time we will get a better account on the procedure that was followed. Because what you're saying is, in your long register, you're saying, yes, we owe contractors 125 million, but in the bank, you only have 26 million. What if all of them were to file?
Not 26, Chair. In the bank, we have a balance of 39.
No, Governor. Note 20 to the financial statements on cash and cash equivalents reflects a balance of 26 million held in the county deposit bank account, resulting to an unexplained variance of 99 million. And that's a 99 million you're explaining. So you owe contractors 125 million, but you only have 26 million. And yet that money was deducted when making the primary payment.
The Chair, what was not put here properly is the explanation, because this was for last year, and the money was returned this February. So that they should have been able to produce evidence on the balances, the account, because 89 million was deposited in February this year. So should have been able to demonstrate that. That's what they did not.
The auditor's report is correct, as at the time of audit.
Of the time of audit, yes, that was the situation.
You are 99 million short.
Yeah, but in February, the 89 million was returned. So maybe we need to allow the Auditor General to verify all the documents before your visit, and we can hand over the, either we forward here or during the visit we deal with it.
So ESCC, if someone takes away my bicycle without my authority, and then they later bring it back, is there a case there? Can they say that, I'm sorry, I stole it, but I brought it back?
Yes, there's a case, Chair. You cannot say that you've brought it back. Thank you.
Well, that's where we are, Governor. I think where we have reached, unless there's a further query on this, I would have proposed an adjournment, and I would also urge the Governor that your team needs to up their game, because we have asked questions that many of which ought to have been answered. And if your team was dedicated at the time of audit, quite a number of these things would not have found their way to the Senate. And I want to believe this is a value of having these conversations. I think my colleagues felt like Kilifi has never appeared before this committee, but I do remember Kilifi has appeared before. I think when we were at KICC. But that's been quite some time back.